Growing up in a small conservative town like Del Rio was really hard, especially if you were somewhat flamboyant or effeminate, outgoing, unapologetic, and especially if you were gay. I used to get picked on and bullied a lot, and it happened pretty regularly. I never felt comfortable there or like I was a part of this community, and so after high school, I graduated and I left. But when I came back, almost 15 years later, everything had changed.
South Texas pride along the border tonight. The city of Del Rio swearing in its youngest mayor ever, an Air Force veteran, and the city's first gay city official, Bruno Ralphie Lozano.
I want to reiterate the fact that I didn't run my campaign with the LGBT banner. I didn't go out there with rainbow flags and pom-poms. If you know Ralphie, you know he's gay. I won my election because I was known for Ralphie, who happens to be these other things. I am Bruno, who happens to be these other things. I am not a gay flag running as Ralphie. I didn't have an experience in politics before I put my name on the ballot in February. I just saw an opportunity to give something back to the city that I love and I call home and I grew up in, and so I took it. The citizens of Del Rio decided to come with me on this amazing journey, and it's been incredible. I mean, I don't look or act like any of the previous mayors before me in this town, and I think that speaks volumes to the change that's happening in this region right now. And I'm very honored to be a part of that wave of change. And so I often get asked, you know, are you going to make LGBT a priority issues? And I respond oftentimes by saying, I'm an out gay guy that won an election in a conservative state. You know, I think that speaks in and of itself. If it's a priority, of course, because I'm not going to go in my closet. I'm not going to hide who I am. Now, I don't want the public to misinterpret that like I'm going to have a gay agenda, because my agenda is not gay. My agenda is for the community. Anything that I do, even if it's for a minority group, will help the entire community. There's no denying that. I'm Bruno Ralphie Lozano, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Del Rio because I was born and raised here. I'm Bruno Ralphie Lozano, and I ask for your vote to become mayor of Del Rio because it's time. This is not the one, but it's back here. So this picture back here is the official picture that the Gay Times used. This is what was on the Gay Times in Seattle, right? What they were using in the campaign to smear me or expose me was this other one where it kind of shows my cheek. And I remember looking at those pictures and I'm like, those are the pictures they're using? Are you serious? Like, those aren't even like bad pictures, like whatever. Like, I remember this one girl, Ralphie, look, like she showed me the phone and everything, and I'm like, what's wrong? I was like, aren't you mad? And I'm like, no. Well, I told him that, no, you were probably drunk or whatever, and I was like, oh, no, you don't have to defend me. I wasn't drunk. I was at Pride. I was having a blast. Like, do you know how many people gave me compliments? Like, do you know what this means? Do you know what like being expressive of expressing your personality means to people who are challenged in accepting the reality of not being able to tell their parents or being different or being suicidal? This gives hope. Well, it never worked. I mean, I didn't back down. I'm not ashamed of those pictures. I'm very proud of those pictures. I walk really well in heels, you know.
I'ma put this pussy on you. Pussy in your jaws now. Like it's Thanksgiving and it ain't coming. Collard greens, nigga, chew this ass. Both told inspection, don't stop till it.
I never thought that I would see the day that our sister city of Eagle Pass would have a pride, let alone be the first openly gay elected official of Del Rio, Texas. We're living in history. We are making history on the border. You know, we're taught that it's shameful to be gay, it's shameful to be trans, it's shameful to be a lesbian. We're taught that from a very young age, especially in communities like ours of Eagle Pass and Del Rio. And that's something that this generation is changing, steadfast. I left Del Rio for about 15 years. I lived in Los Angeles, Chicago, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was stationed in South Carolina when I served under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, willingly giving up my rights to be out to protect our country's freedoms, something that I'm very proud that I did. That being said, I continued my journey living in Seattle, eventually getting in Boston and Detroit, and I found something that I was looking for, which was community. I was looking for you in the crowd. I was looking for that relationship. I was looking for that acceptance. And I found it in LGBT neighborhoods like Lakeview in Chicago, Capitol Hill in Seattle, WeHo in Los Angeles. But the one thing that was lacking, the one thing that I was missing, was my Tejano culture, which is what I'm familiar with here in Eagle Pass, Laredo, Del Rio, El Paso. Somos Tejanos y proud, ¿verdad?
Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Thank you very, very much. ¿Están disfrutando, sí o no? Muy bien, gracias. Otra canción. No me queda más que perderme en un abismo de tristeza.
It only takes one or two people for something like this to be truly successful, and I think this was a huge success. It was really great to see so many kids out there participating and being exposed to such diversity. I mean, you have to remember where we are. A small Texas border town, conservative, religious, stereotypical red state values, and this is happening here? People are out here with their families, celebrating open-mindedness and acceptance. That is huge. And people are going to talk about it, and it's going to keep happening, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, and that is truly amazing. So I was contemplating, I was like, hey, we should do something like this in Del Rio next spring. That way Eagle Pass can join us in spring, and we can join them in fall.
Del Rio doesn't have a pride parade?
No. Eagle Pass beat us to it. I think it generally would be a good thing. I think the public would not be surprised that their gay mayor and their gay councilmen are gonna have a gay celebration in Del Rio. I mean, they know who they voted, right? And I mean, it's happening. People are looking beyond attributes that don't pertain to the soul.
He says it was a class reunion that planted the seed for his political career right after the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando.
I'm not this weird guy that's like, oh, he's gay. Like, what is he to, like, no, I'm Ralphie. Come get to know me and be Pride here. So before I became mayor, I've been working as a flight attendant for a major airline. And once I became mayor, I realized I would have to keep my full-time job because I learned that elected officials in Del Rio only make $2,400 a year. Yeah, that's right. Only $2,400 a year. So that means that basically I have two full-time jobs. I commute to Boston, fly out anywhere I need to go, which is domestic or international, you name it, and I come home and I do this every week. What time is it? Oh, I still have good time. So what are the questions you're going to ask me so I can start thinking of answers?
What's the most surprising thing that you've learned about being mayor?
Okay.
Outside of your staff, who do you listen to the most? And then...
That's a good question. I hope you enjoyed the highlights of the past 5 months as mayor of Del Rio. Okay, let me do it. I hope you've enjoyed the highlights of the last 5 months. I keep stuttering when I say 5 months. I hope you've enjoyed the highlights of the last 5... Why do I keep stuttering on 5? Hold on. Thanks again for watching the highlights of the last 5 months as mayor of City of Del Rio. I look forward to ensuring that the City of Del Rio continues to grow and prosper, and that all visitors from all over the United States, state of Texas, and the country continue to make City of Del Rio a destination of choice by discovering what makes us uniquely different and living with the distinct feeling of Del Rio. Thanks again. That was actually pretty good.